We just can't stop getting annoyed by this. It is so incredibly infuriating. All 4 of these cars are part of the Edmunds 1-year road test fleet. See, we've got about 20 cars that we drive every day just like you do. And today I'm gonna catch you up on all of them. We'll tell you what broke, what we love, what we hate, and there's some new faces. Trust me, we got some stories to tell. We're Edmunds, and we test hundreds of cars each year on the road and at our private track, so you get the most trusted reviews. If you want to know which car, truck, or SUV is the best, then stick with us. Let me show you how long it takes this screen to come up. Still waiting. Oh, okay, I agree. There, oh my gosh. Now look, that is frustrating even on a good day. But if you're in a rush, like maybe it's cold outside and you just want to get the heated seats on, or you've had a really bad day at the office and all you want to do is just get the heck out of Dodge, it is so incredibly infuriating. I mean, look, every single person that has been in this vehicle, they all comment on it. I know we talk about it a lot, but we just can't stop getting annoyed by this. The log notes are absolutely spammed with content about how bad this screen is.
So I posted a video a little while back that blew up on our Twitter account, and it really illustrates the point. People can't believe how slow and antiquated the Forester's touchscreen is. And even once it's booted up, it's still slow, it's still blurry, and it's not even that nice looking. A lot of people on staff just thought it was ugly. On top of that, you have to use it all the time because the only physical controls are for volume and temperature. So you're constantly using this slow, buggy, laggy screen. I mean, it's one of the worst on the market. I can't believe Subaru still puts it in cars.
Now, look, y'all, we know that those are really, really harsh words. It's just that we know that Subaru can do so much better. See, we picked up a 2026 Outback as part of our 1-year road test fleet a couple of months ago, and the tech in that is really good. We actually gave it a 9 out of 10 in tech, while the Forester just gets a 3 out of 10. See, the Outback got a redesign in 2026 that is very focused on the technology, and that's eventually going to show up across the rest of the lineup. So that means that the infotainment screen is nice and crisp, it responds just as quickly as your phone, and it wirelessly integrates with Apple CarPlay super easy. Plus, the icons are really big and easy to use. It's basically everything that you would want from an infotainment system. In fact, that was the main difference we found when we compared the Forester and the Outback together. This video is brought to you by Bumper.com. Get an AI-powered summary of a vehicle history report that is simple and to the point. With just a VIN or a license plate number, learn about a car's history quick. To learn more, visit Bumper.com/Edmunds. And here we are in 2026, and it is still the strongest reason not to buy the Forester, which is a pity because we kind of like it.
Say what you will about the Forester's tech, but driver seat comfort is great. I've done a few different drives, 10 or 11 hours in the seat, and I haven't been uncomfortable at all like I've been in some other cars. The seat's really just to have an ideal combination of cushy padding and great support.
And we'll be sure to keep you updated as we learn more about what we love and loathe about the car. So, how reliable can a hybrid pickup truck really be after that many miles and after 5 years?
Big Red here has been such a faithful partner. It's done everything we asked of it and only wanted a little bit of care in return. I love this thing and I know I'm gonna miss it.
So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. See, most of the cars that we have for our 1-year test fleet, we keep for, well, 1 year, but every once in a while, we like to keep something around for 2, even 3 years. And in the case of Big Red here, we bought it in 2021. We put 45,000 miles on it and retired it from the fleet in 2024. But still, we just couldn't resist keeping it around. So we knew the Ford needed a new home, but we decided that home is right here with us. So we gave it to our production dudes, and they use it as a support vehicle and to haul all their gear. So now with 56,000 miles on the clock, it really is time to sell. So I thought I'd check in one last time to see just what's been going on.
We use it while shooting U-drags to help set up the course, haul cones, generators, gas cans, tools, and most importantly, crew. The Pro Power onboard has been useful too. We've used it to power job site lights after dark. And then once we used it to finish charging a Rivian R1T that we had in a EV tow test.
And we really haven't had any problems with the truck. I mean, yes, we did have 2 recalls, one to replace a possibly faulty wiper motor, and then the other one to just kind of check and resecure a wiring harness that could be rubbing on the rear axle. But other than that, the truck's been pretty flawless. So after 5 years of ownership, we can confidently say that the Hybrid is the powertrain to get in the F-150, and at least in our experience, it's been pretty reliable. I mean, it's probably supposed to do that, but I don't know, it just feels cheap. And we really like the X3, mostly. We're about halfway through our year with the BMW X3, and so far it's proved to be really popular with the staff. In fact, there's almost 13,000 miles on the little guy.
The X3 has a great powertrain. I've driven a bunch of BMWs with this 4-cylinder 8-speed automatic combination, and it just seems to feel right in this car. Nothing crazy, but there's plenty of torque, it always seems to be in the right gear, and it's efficient. As an M2 owner myself, the M50 is still my favorite, but this is still a great option.
Now, the engine was one of the big advantages of the BMW X3 when it went up against the Genesis GV70 in its comparison test earlier this year. But the engine was not the only thing that was pleasant.
Driver aids are great in this car. Ours has the $3,400 premium package that adds, among other things, Driving Assistant Plus, which is just BMW's adaptive cruise control and lane centering. The adaptive cruise maintains a gap in traffic really naturally with the car ahead, and the lane centering centers you confidently and can even handle some gentle curves. And the biggest annoyance in some of these systems is that when you have your hands on the steering wheel, it'll tell you, hey, put your hands on the wheel. It drives me crazy, and that never happens in the X3. So I'm very pleased with the driver assist here.
And the X3 proved itself pretty practical too.
For a small luxury SUV, the X3's cargo area is pretty roomy. I've used it for a lot of day-to-day tasks, grocery runs and the like, but I've also had to haul some bigger stuff, and it was pretty easy to fold down the rear seats. They fold nearly flat, and it's also really easy to take out the cargo cover.
After driving the X3 a few times over the past 6 months, I was really happy to see that BMW kept one of my favorite features from the last X3. That is ginormous water bottle pockets in the doors. Yes, even big enough for your very trendy water bottle. So thank you, BMW, for helping me and all my other millennial friends staying hydrated.
Not that we've totally loved living with this interior.
By far and away, my biggest complaint with the X3's interior is the material choice and quality of it. This is hard plastic, this is hard plastic. It just doesn't feel very nice to the touch and really feels like BMW cheaped out. The two things that really bother me the most, though, are the window switches, which are the same across the entire BMW lineup, and they feel super cheap, but this weird touch panel really takes the cake. It's one solid piece of plastic, and it is so flimsy and cheap, and you can accidentally activate your seat memory at any point. It is so ridiculous. I cannot stand it. It's unacceptable.
That was a complaint that came up a lot in our notes log. I mean, people really love the screen, but the software got some feedback.
Look, I can forgive some jankiness in a car that I like, but there is just zero inherent charm in the BMW X3 to cover up all of the stuff that bothers me about it. They told me to stick to complaining about the infotainment, so that's what I'm going to do. All of the settings and features are just put in apps that are tossed into a big app drawer with no sort of organization. The labeling doesn't always make sense. It is super hard to find the stuff that you are looking for. Even when I'm sitting still at a stoplight, forget trying to find anything when I'm actually driving around. Plus, one more thing, those recessed door handles, my 5-year-old is shorter than him, so when he tries to use them, he has real trouble getting onto the handle and pulling the door open. This is not a great design.
I don't think anybody on staff hates this car more than Will does, but it definitely gives us some ideas of things that we hope that BMW will fix for the upcoming iX3. And with our Ford truck out the door, we decided to get a new Expedition. Now, this is our favorite big 3-row SUV, and we're excited to see how it holds up over a year of use. So we purchased a black over gray Expedition Platinum with the near $15,000 Platinum Ultimate package. So basically, we've got a loaded King Ranch just without all of that cowboy stuff. But we wanted to get something that had all of the features so we could tell you which ones are worth it. But that also means that the sticker price here is over $90,000. It is by far the most expensive car we've got in the fleet. And so far, well, I can tell you that the staff has put a bunch of miles on this thing, even driving this big old behemoth in the city where it's really tough to get into parking spots, to say nothing of parking garages. We've even gotten used to these multi-purpose touchpad dealy whackers on the steering wheel. But there have been a couple of complaints. The first one is about the heavy steering feel, but also about the weird shape of the steering wheel. See, it's oval so that it doesn't block your view of the top screen, but it just feels kind of weird, like shuffling through your hands after you make a turn. And the other is Blue Cruise, which is Ford's hands-free, eyes-up highway driving assist. Now, for the most part, it worked well, but we do have one staffer that is 6'5" tall, and he had a really hard time. So there's an eye tracking sensor here that makes sure that you're paying attention to the road, and it's mounted here on the steering wheel. So when Cameron has the steering wheel at the right position for his really tall frame, the sensor is looking at his chest. So it can't monitor his eye line, and then all it does is just beep and make a whole bunch of noise until he actually puts his hands on the steering wheel and thus negates Blue Cruise. So taller folks, beware. But so far, we are really enjoying our time with the Expedition, and we'll be sure to update you as the year goes along. If you've got any questions about any of these vehicles, or if you want to comment on my Valentine's Day sweater instead of my Christmas sweater, be sure to leave a note in the comments. I swear to you, we read them, especially me. Also, if you found this video helpful, give us a good old like and subscribe. It really does help us out. And this is just a fraction of what we've actually got in the Edmunds one-year test fleet. And we've got a lot more to share, including the eternally problematic supercharged Mustang Dark Horse. Plus, we've got new entries like America's best-selling SUV, a manual transmission sports car, and our favorite 3-row SUV. So stay tuned, we'll see you soon.